watching painful sensations. This comes under mindfulness of feelings, Vedana-anupassana. Today we'll continue about talk about mindfulness of feelings. Painful feeling is one of the most obvious and first type of feelings that we encounter. Because it's very gross and tends to be harsh compared to the other two feelings, pleasurable or happy feeling, and neutral, indifferent feeling. We talk of feelings, we talk of these three types of feelings. But they're all feelings. And feelings are mental. Even bodily pain is mental phenomena. Although it is tied up with the body condition. There's happy bodily feeling, which is more like comfort, but it's also mental, but tied up with bodily feelings. There are no, according to the Abhidhamma, neutral bodily feelings. You watch the feeling properly, it becomes more and more subtle. And finally, it ends up with what we call neutral feeling. But bodily feeling has no neutral feeling. Because the bodily feeling, they argue, is direct contact with the body base. And so it tends to be sensitive. Neutral feeling is a feeling that is very subtle and even, or even soft, unclear. But first, let us talk about a bit more about these bodily feelings. As I always said, when you meditate, your main object are the body sensations. Your body or materiality as objects. But unavoidably, the pain intrudes because it's strong. And you cannot ignore it. You have to acknowledge it. Otherwise, your mind can be disturbed and you lose your mindfulness. So you maintain the continuity of the mindfulness. There are two ways of addressing this painful sensation. Can you hear me? Mr. Tan, boleh dengar kau? Saya. Can you hear me? You cannot hear me. What? Then you come closer. Not too close because you will cough. Trying to get extra virus from you. You better stretch your ears. Because if you don't acknowledge it, there's this pain coming into the picture, then your mind can become disturbed, distracted. And so anger arises, aversion arises, and you lose your mindfulness. But there are two ways of dealing with the situation. One is to ignore it. When pain comes, push up. Because my main object is rising and falling. So I build up my mindfulness and concentration on rising and falling. Pain can come and go. As long as I know a bit enough, as long as it doesn't disturb me enough, as long as I can ignore it enough, I go on to my primary object. The second thing is when the pain comes, you acknowledge it and you note it, pain, pain, pain. And then when pain goes off, you come back to your primary object, rising, falling. So which one? Which one do you do? Sit down. So you don't like to watch pain. Because, why? Because pain is bad. Huh? The first method where you try to ignore it is done usually in samadhi methods, samatha methods. Hold on to your concentration object, in, out, in, out, in, out. Then your concentration picks up. In vipassana, we don't really ignore it. We acknowledge it. Doesn't mean we give it primary importance. It's just like you're driving along the road, they know that there are people passing by. Yeah? There's a bicycle here, there's Mrs. Ong walking there, and then there's Kim Fong at the roadside quarreling with somebody. It's none of your business. You know, but you pay attention to your road. Yeah? But when you're mindful of the road, you're considered also mindful of what is around. But they are not of primary importance because they don't really disturb you. Your main attention or focus is building up your concentration of your primary vipassana object. But if it really distracts you, then you have to be mindful. Suppose you're riding a bicycle on the road, ching chong, ching chong. Then Tekju is there. Hey! You, Yong, I want to speak to you. Yes, ching chong, ching. What? And then, bong, you knock the car, huh? Why? Because he got distracted. Lost his mindfulness and clear comprehension. Because of Tekju shouting at him. Is it Tekju's fault? Partly. Right? But the proximate cause, the immediate causes, he was not mindful. Distant cause, secondary cause. Take you. So you see, that's the situation. Whereas in samatha meditation, you ignore them altogether. Samatha method, in, out, visualization, everything else can go to hell. Huh? Hold on to the concentration object. So when you notice this pain or any other secondary objects, intrudes, and you get distracted, then you have to take note of it. Hearing, pain. To make sure you are mindful, you are aware, because it's strong enough to really distract you, take you away from your main object. So you're not hearing, seeing. Here in this case we are talking of painful feeling. When it doesn't disturb you anymore, you can come back to your rising falling. Do you have to wait until the pain disappears? You don't have to. But usually, if it's not so bad, you see it disappear anyway. Why? Because you're training in vipassana meditation in the 4 foundations. You train not only in the body, but also in the feelings. Normally a lot of pain, when you be mindful, feeling, it goes away quickly, after 2 or 3 notings. Then you come back to your rising falling. But sometimes it needs a bit longer, like itch, you're not itchy, mindful. It doesn't either disappear or it becomes insignificant, then you come back. But it's itchy, getting stronger, it goes into your nose, goes into your ears, then you must not more effectively make sure you're not disturbed. When you're not disturbed, it goes away, it passes away after a little while. Then you come back to your rising falling. When that happens, you must be very careful. You must not let aversion arises. You're rising, falling, the pain comes, it becomes stronger. It's a stupid pain. You distract me from my concentration. I cannot meditate because of the pain. It's not right. You should learn to be mindful of pain. Pain is also a vipassana object. So you learn to watch pain mindfully, peacefully, clearly, and you watch the pain, the different types of pain, what type of pain comes, what type of pain goes, how it comes, how it goes, ding dong, then it becomes stronger. Then when it becomes strong and persistent, it becomes your primary object. You don't come back to rising, falling, not just yet. So you watch. And eventually, of course, when pain becomes a more serious issue, then it becomes a primary object for a longer period of time until you learn how to handle it successfully and it passes away. Then you come back to your primary object or your sitting and touching. Usually when you come back, the object becomes very clear. Because pain has a property of pulling out your energy and mindfulness, because you're not alert enough, you cannot handle it. So you have to, it's the nature of pulling out your faculties. And concentration is also pulled out. So that when you come back to your rising and falling, it becomes very clear. So pain has a property of bringing up your concentration quickly. It also has a need to make you have a need to bring up, train up your mindfulness until it's very strong to face it properly. And with the pain, the three characteristics, impermanent, suffering, and non-self, also very clear. So in that sense, it's a good object for vipassana, if you can bear it. Different people can bear different degrees of pain. How good are you in bearing pain without getting angry? Are you good, Mr. Tekju? Are you very good, Mr. Tanjok Kwang? If you are still meditating until now, so many years, it can't be too bad. For beginners, well, we can understand, but don't give up. It's all very much a part of life. You learn to be mindful of pain, life will be more bearable, if not more meaningful. For people who cannot bear pain, they suffer a lot in life, and they become very angry, and they cannot practice vipassana. I know of somebody who learned a lot of Abhidhamma. You know Abhidhamma? A lot of Abhidhamma, Buddhist metaphysics, and blah, 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 blah. And he also practices meditation, of course. But when it comes to pain, it's koyak. He's hopeless. He gives up, he changes his position, he goes back to bed and take a pail of water and rub his chest. I said, what are you doing? He said, very painful. Usually it happens with people who have too good life. Oh, mialang. Sanjay Kwang, have you got a very good life? No. You mean you have a terrible childhood? Watching pain has many advantages. When you learn to face pain, you learn to overcome a lot of anger, you learn to overcome a lot of selfishness, defilements. And also you learn to self-healing. When you're suffering, you're sick, and you're able to watch pain mindfully as it arises and passes away, the healing process becomes faster. People with even very grave illnesses, when they watch the pain, especially when medication does not work anymore, and then you have to resort to Dharma therapy. Then what can you do? So what do you do? Watch your pain. It would help if you do some samatha also to ease the pain. But samatha is also something like a painkiller. You don't use it properly, the pain can be even stronger. So, must know how to use it. So, I can say that learning to watch pain is a very important part of training in life to be happy. Second is a very important aspect of training if you want to get insight and knowledges. And there are many aspects of insight or understanding that can come from watching pain. You look at the Buddha's teachings, what are the main Buddha's teachings? What are the main Buddha's teachings? What? Four Noble Truths. Suffering, cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the way to the suffering, cessation of suffering. Yes? Is it? Four Noble Truths. Anybody disagree with this? Why don't you talk about happiness, the cause of happiness, the cessation of happiness, and the way to the cessation of happiness? Why? Isn't this the Four Noble Truths? No. Same, it's also the Four Noble Truths. But the main truth is, even in a deeper level of truth, even the normal thing people call happiness is also suffering. You see, what happens is people usually associate pain and happiness with suffering and happiness with pain and pleasure. So what is suffering? It's a sick, right? When you're sick, you're suffering. You got a broken leg, suffering. You got a broken heart, suffering. Sorrow, lamentation, all those are suffering. But all this is more associated with feeling, painful feeling, painful bodily feeling, and painful mental feeling. Now, pleasurable feeling is included in suffering, but not painful feeling. Pleasurable feeling is not painful feeling. What is pleasurable feeling? When you're happy bodily feeling is when you're very comfortable. Yeah? Like you meditate all day, walk, sit, you have pain, everywhere pain. Then you go to a room, cannot tahan anymore. No can. Malaysia tak boleh lagi. Mesti balik kampung tidur. Go to your bed, lie down. Wow, so nice. Song ka liao. That is really bodily happy feeling. It's physical comfort. But if you say pleasurable mental feeling, then when you enjoy what happens, you come Chinese New Year, Happy New Year, you go there, Yisang. Everybody take a chopstick there. Hoo-ah, 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 happy, happy, happy. Everybody become happy. Pleasurable mental feeling. Happy. Sometimes why? Because you get something nice. You buy lottery, You buy lottery, you strike first prize. First prize. I strike first prize. Happy, happy, happy. Yeah. Happy mentally feeling. When is your happiest day of your life? Can you remember? Ong Teo Eng? Can you remember which is your happiest day of your life? Can you hear me?
Yes,
I thought you were pretending not to hear me.
I'm thinking the happiest day of my life.
Young, what is your happiest day of your life? When you got married? Happy. When is the saddest day of your life? You don't have to tell me. It's very private. So, those are feelings. Happy, strong feelings. These are happy mental feeling, painful mental feeling. Which is stronger, physical or mental feeling? Mental feeling is stronger. Physical feeling has its limits, but it can be very, very strong. But it has its limits. But mental feeling, no limits. Infinite. Like you think of the feeling of the beings in hell. Can you imagine? You cannot imagine how much pain they suffer. Endless pain. You watch the pain for millions of years. How you feel? Terrible. What you suffer now are human painful feelings. Terrible. No way. The other day, yesterday afternoon, evening, I took a walk in one of the back roads of this Taman Mega, nearby here. I just jalan a bit. There was this dog screaming. Why was he screaming? Because he was tied to the neck to an iron bar, very short string. He just tied to the string, and it was like that. He cannot move. He can move a little bit around only. So he made a lot of noise. And the owner there, when he was parking, started scolding him. So, no way for him to escape. No. If somebody is compassionate enough, at night you go there and set him free. Tanjung Kuang, you're the right person to do that. I call the SPTA, cruelty to animals, just at the back. I show you where I'm going to call. That is suffering. Huh? You talk to the owner and see what happens to you. You get punched in your face. Should ask the one who's meant to shoot a needle at him. But that's what people do to people as well. Not just tie them up, but to really torture them. You know how people get tortured? We better not know. After that, you cannot sleep. But when you watch pain, you can watch pain. How do the Chinese torture their prisoners? Last time, I don't know, they said one way of punishment, and they said they make sure they confess their crimes. So when they go to the court, you don't confess your crime, we make you confess. So what they do, they tie their fingers like that. They tie it up like that, stiff, cannot move. And then they poke the nail into the center there. Twang, twang. You confess or not? No, twang. Yeah? It's called torture. Confession under duress. I heard in China even worse for those people, rebels and those who go against the state, the chief himself. I read. So one of the things I read was the biography of the white bone demon. Who's the white bone demon? She is none other than Mao Zedong's wife. At one time she was quite a leader already because Mao Zedong was sick or what, I don't know. So what happened? Some people have the gang of four, after that, they catch some of the people who went against them. One of them was specialist in torture. They squeeze the neck slowly. He can squeeze, very good kung fu, ying zhao. Squeeze the neck few whole days, squeeze, slowly squeeze, tighten, until the urine, the shit all come out, until they finally slowly die. You have to note mindfully. Mindful. Very difficult. You don't have to torture yourself. You can torture yourself. Of course, not willingly, by your bad karma. That also happens. Some people suffer from bone cancer, liver cancer, all this cancer eat into your nerves. You put all your Panadol, all your morphine, up to some point, tak boleh guna lagi. Tak boleh pakai. The only thing can pakai is Dharma therapy. So you better learn it now before it happens to you. This special encouragement for you to watch pain. Don Jokwang, Mr. Tan, Kichai, remember, this happens to old people. Cannot breathe. There's a consolation. If you can manage, you can get insight. You even can get enlightened. If you cannot, then what happens usually? There's a fight between two things. The craving for existence and the craving for non-existence. Craving for existence, my see, like that, I still got hope. Can't see. So sometimes they drag until the reasoning all gone. So they just like a vegetable. They won't die. Can drag on. the craving for existence is so strong, very strong. It's in the mind, in the consciousness. You may say you want to die, but the mind says, no, you want to live. So become vegetable. But if you let go of the clinging to life, next day you die. This is what happens. So one friend told me that, look, I told him, you think I can live longer? I said, your time is about up. Don't cling to life. Just watch, be mindful of things, and they really are. 2 days he passed away. I didn't ask him to die. I asked him to don't cling to life only. It's not my fault. My brother also the same story. My brother, he cannot eat anymore. He's just living day to day, and he's just trying to watch. He said watching impermanence is very difficult. But he watched so many times. Sometimes he was going to die, but he came back again. Going to die, came back again. He cannot walk. He started walking again. So this time he cannot eat, and so on and so on. So he was very sick already, skin and bones. So he was feeling difficult to breathe and all those things. And then they called the hospital. Actually, he was dragging on for many months. So my sister was there. My sister was a staff nurse for many years. So he came and looked after him. And he was just struggling. He was just, usually like he sit there, close his eyes and try to be mindful. Choking. And then my sister says, you're dragging on, aren't you? Why you hold on so long? You want to go, you just go. Oh, he went. Look, I can go, huh? Okay, go. Because the life faculty is already at the string. It's going to just holding on that last bit. You can hold on for a long time. A little bit, that one string, like the spider or the web. But of course, my sister was surprised. Oh, my goodness, he died in front of me. So of course, she's a nurse, you know what to do. She checked the heartbeat, the breath, and so on. Breath stop. Heartbeat slowly stop. It also stopped. But not sure really did or not yet. No, that is the coming force inside. You don't know. So after some time, he called the hospital and he called the doctor come and certify and so on. When you let go of your wish to live, you die. That's why there's this death wish. Some people just don't have this wish to live anymore. Meaningless. Then the life automatically goes off. There's something like suicide, but not so violent. The meaning of life, the wish to life, the craving existence dies off. In fact, what happens is the craving for non-existence comes into play. I better die. I want to die. That is also craving, Craving for wanting Nibbana is not craving for existence. Because Nibbana is not dying. Nibbana is true cessation of samsara. This is different. So, you see, you want to die also cannot. You don't want to die also cannot. Mati pun tak boleh. Nak hidup pun tak boleh. So how? You must have that noble search. Meditate. See arising and passing away of phenomena. no self. Then you're on the right track to true happiness. Otherwise, you get into samsara again. You got good karma, okay lah, nice samsara. Bad karma, bad samsara. If you have nice karma, you have good samsara, okay lah, but you must continue to meditate wherever you are. You're born in Deva realm, from Chak, driving everything, every day, Yi-sang. And then what happens? You forget to meditate. So that's why what happens is, when you're able to see into the cessation of pain, mental pain, physical pain, that's not the end of the story. You have to learn to be mindful of happy feelings, pleasurable feeling. Especially when you're happy, you must joyful, you must happy, joyful, so that you are not overcome by craving. When you're not overcome by craving, you remain mindful and you're not easily fall into traps. Usually it's easy to fall into traps, unwholesomeness, make mistake when you are enjoying yourself, when you're happy, and so on. A good example is, people climb. You do climbing? Did you climb? You don't do climbing? You didn't climb up the what? Gunung Ledang. You climb Gunung Ledang. Happy or not? Hard work lah. Then which is happier, you're climbing up or going down? Also suffer. But at least you come down, you don't need to use so much strength. That's why people climb Mount Everest, or these very high mountains. Usually they get accidents when they're going down. Why? Because they're not so mindful anymore. And maybe they're tired. So when they're not so mindful, it's easy to slip, fall, and things like that. So you have to watch the painful feeling when it arises. You don't, craving arises, and then you lose your mindfulness. And then your faculties will start falling again, and then your pain will start coming back. Same when you're watching the pain or a pleasurable feeling, you watch it with mindfulness, moment to moment. You see the feeling come and pass away in waves. At the beginning, you don't see clearly, you see one big wave, then go down. Feeling usually, happy feeling usually it doesn't come so easily in Vipassana. And it comes, then it can go away very fast. But your concentration is strong, it also lasts for some time. But you do Vipassana properly, whether pain or pleasurable feeling, it rises and passes away, moment to moment. It comes in waves, faster and faster, smaller and smaller waves. So you see the impermanence and unsatisfactoriness also of the pleasurable feeling. Finally, you go to the neutral feeling. Neutral feeling is like no feeling. Not that there's no feeling, but because it's so subtle. If you got any feeling or not, no feeling. Because they say there's no feeling. Feeling is always there. It's just that you don't see it. You see it when you can follow it to more and more subtle state, and then you see there's a type of feeling which you cannot say is happy feeling, which you cannot say is painful feeling. It's like a sensation. That's the feeling. But you watch properly, it's closer to a painful sensation than a happy sensation. Because it's like a sting, like a sting. Just like an itch, you tickle, oh, so nice feeling. But you keep tickling until it becomes strong, and then you say, I cannot stand this itch. So feeling is like that. When you watch properly the neutral feeling, you can't say it's happy or painful, but it's closer to the pain. That means you see the impermanence of the feeling clearly. That's why the Satipatthana Sutta talks about this. To be able to see pain as a thorn. That means a thorn. Something that's always bothering you. Therefore it is suffering. To see pleasure as painful. That means you see pleasure, nice pleasure, when you watch it carefully, it is something very unstable. So in that sense, the feeling is very strong. It is close to pain and suffering. To see painful feeling as suffering. Not as so much as pain, but more as suffering. And to see neutral feeling as impermanent. These are the characteristics where it's actually talking about this insights into watching feelings. This comes from the Satipatthana commentary. Painful feeling, pleasurable feeling, neutral feeling. This meditation of painful feeling is also important in a more general sense of happiness and suffering. As I said in the beginning, usually happiness and suffering is usually associated with feelings. Painful feeling, suffering, pleasurable feeling is happiness. That's what people understand. But in practice and in the Dhamma, is something more than that. Because suffering, you look at it as a universal characteristic. It's a nature of oppression. No oppression. Something like stress. It creates stress. Your mind gets stressed. It's understandable because when you watch pain, you watch pain for a while, okay, watch pain longer, you get very stressed. So that's why the oppressiveness comes with the painful feeling. Because the feeling is very harsh. It's something like cutting into you, very harsh, cholo. Like a brush that, you're having pain, you'd have a brush that rub against you. Harsh, oppressive. Pleasurable feeling also can be oppressive. Especially, depends on the level of feeling that you perceive. Usually, pleasurable feeling, nice feeling, people don't call it suffering. So the meaning of suffering in Buddhism, in meditation, like in the three universal characteristics, is not as the same suffering you use in the English vocabulary. It is in the sense that it is also oppressive in the ultimate sense. Why? Because the pleasurable feeling fluctuates. It's not stable. It comes and it goes. You look for it, it runs away, And then when you're in great suffering, it takes you away from suffering, so you think it's nice. It's more like fighting a bitter poison with sweet poison, something like that. Distract you, but doesn't mean it's happy, It's just like, you listen to some music. What music you like to hear? You like to hear Indian music? Why? Indians like to hear Indian music. Sometimes when people, European friends come and they listen to the Chinese music, what music is this? Ding dong 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 dong. They don't understand. They say, what music is good to you? I like Mozart, I like Beethoven, I like don't know what. I said, that's meaningless to us. There's a lot of noise. Not so far from the rock, hard rock. So the concept is different, but what is sure is when there's more vibrations, more change, more, generally it's oppressive compared to the more soft and more quiet thing. So pleasure feeling compared to pain is not suffering, it's nice. But you compare to the more peaceful feeling, it's suffering. So which is correct? Suffering is more correct. You're talking of reality. Now neutral feeling is less suffering comparatively because it's very light, very quiet, very silent. For example, painful feeling is like hard rock, metal rock, is it? Correct or not? You like or not? No, why? When you're young, you like? Young you like. Because it what you call, goes along with the young mind, the mind that is, those turbulent years. So yeah, you like hard rock metal? Hello? You, mister? Are you listening to me? No, this young man there. Yes, you. You like hard rock metal? No. You're sudah tua lah you. When you're younger, you like? When you're younger, do you like it? No. So quiet fellow. So after that, this one's terrible. You prefer the softer music. Like what? The piano. Ding ding dong dong. Soft music. Chopin. Nocturne. Ding ding long long dong ding dong. All those very nice. Helps you to go and fall asleep. Then after that, but when you're meditating, you're listening to somebody play music. Say, kacau me only, you stupid fellow. So it disturbs you, not so nice anymore. So it becomes very quiet, and then you're happy because very quiet, it doesn't disturb you. So when all these vibrations and change stops, then you get peace. That's what you call this. There's this Vediyata Sukha and Avediyata Sukha. There is happiness that comes with feelings and happiness that does not come with feelings. Happiness that comes with feeling could be those rough music and those nice melodious music, and even in those soft, very subtle music, you don't get much feeling, but you just feel at peace, you know. But still it is feeling. But when you meditate vipassana, you see everything arising and passing away. At first very rough arising, passing away, to the subtle arising, the very finest arising, parting, the moment to moment arising feeling, and you see them, see the oppressiveness, you see the dukkha in them. So when you have a detachment, all the arising and passing away stops completely, and then you get the true peace called nibbana. Nibbana is called the avedita sukha, happiness without feelings, because of cessation of feelings. So the meaning of feelings, what is happiness and suffering, differs. So I think we'll stop here tonight. We come back at half an hour's time for a short matter.